All right, folks, tonight's show is brought to you by justinformed.com, a social media site that never steals your data, doesn't sell you down the river. Social media site where all voices are welcome. Come to justinformed.com and tell them that Tim Black sent you today. Oh man, we are jamming, aren't we? Getting it in. Hello everybody, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to No Sellouts, Tim Black Show, Monday. Welcome everybody to the show. I have some information for you today, some great topics that we're going to hit on, some stories that happened between Friday and today, so we're going to bring you up to speed on what's moving in your world. Today we have Jasmine Hidley, a 23-year-old New York mom who was treated like crap, had her child yanked from her arms. Well, the charges went away, but the backlash has it, right here on TBTV. We have the Mueller investigation releases a memo describing or summarizing what Michael Flynn told them. Interesting stuff right here on TBTV. We have Russian propaganda says that the Russians focused on black folks, black voters, during its misinformation campaign of the 2016 general election. All that right here on TBTV. And last but not least, Tulsi Gabbard may be running in 2020 and will be announcing her decision soon. Get ready, y'all. All that right here on TBTV. All right, folks. Let's do it. I'm feeling good about it. I would like to say hello to everybody out there on YouTube, on Periscope, on Twitch, and on Facebook. What's going on? Hope your weekends were enjoyable. Hope everybody is safe and sound. They made it through the weekend and they're ready to get into some stuff, man. I'm telling you, I'm really excited to announce what we've been working with over this weekend. We got a great surprise coming real soon. It's going to be very interesting. So stay tuned to me on as Real Tim Black on your social media, Facebook and YouTube. Facebook and Twitter, I'm Real Tim Black. On Instagram, I'm Tim Black at Night. And of course, on YouTube, I'm Tim Black TV or Tim Black. You'll find me there. All right. Let's get into it. Let's start out with what they're saying about the blacks. All right? What they're saying about Russia. Man, I'm trying to tell you folks, I'm really tired of hearing about Russia. I've been tired of it for over 2 years now. Well, when I woke up this morning, I went on Twitter to see what was happening in my world. I saw that they were talking about it all over again. There's been a report released that says, daggone it, Russia did it again. They had nothing but Russia. This time it's a little bit different. They say that Russia 2016 influence operation targeted none other than African Americans. According to the report and articles published at The Guardian, at the New York Times, Russian influence campaign on social media in the 2016 election made an extraordinary effort to target African Americans. They used an array of tactics to try to suppress turnout amongst Democrats and unleashed a blizzard of activity on Instagram that rivaled or exceeded its post on Facebook, according to a report produced for the Senate Intelligence Committee. The report adds new details to the portrait that has emerged over the last 2 years of the energy and imagination of the Russian efforts in order to influence American opinion and divide the country, which the author says continues to this day. Active and ongoing interference operations remain on several platforms, says the report produced by New Knowledge, a cybersecurity company based in Austin, Texas, along with researchers at Columbia University and Canfield Research, LLC, one continuing Russian campaign, for instance, seeks to influence opinion on Syria by promoting Bashar al-Assad, the Syrian president, and the Russian ally in the brutal conflict there. Notice they don't prove this, they just say it. The new knowledge report, which was obtained by the New York Times in advance of the scheduled release, which happened today, is one of two commissioned by the Senate Committee on a bipartisan basis. They are based largely on data about the Russian operations provided by the Senate regarding Facebook, Twitter, and other companies whose platforms were used. So one of the things that they're saying, folks, is that not only did the Russians try to influence the election by generally targeting people who were voting, but they made a concerted effort to go after African Americans, knowing African Americans almost robotically vote for the Democratic candidate. Now, I find this very hilarious, right? That they would that this continues to be a focus, right? So, look, I'm not going to contend that there wasn't any influence being done by Russia. The question is not, did Russia try to influence our elections? Though that's what they want this to be about, right? The question to me that I would like to ask you guys, right, is how much of an influence did some ads on Facebook or Instagram or any other social media site really impact people's judgment about what they thought about the Democratic Party? I really think it is disingenuous to continue to preach this notion that people are influenced by Facebook posts to the point where that's the way they're going to go out and vote. I just don't believe that's what happens. I don't believe that's what moved the needle. Okay? And also, are you factoring in any of the other influences? Now, they say, one of the things they say is that they were influencing black folks, telling them that their votes didn't count. I'm going to tell you something. That's been something that has been said in America, not just in the black community, but in all communities. For as long as I've been black, I've been hearing people say that. Your vote don't count. Your vote don't count. Who cares? They're going to do what they want to do. Your vote don't count. But because Russians allegedly, let's just say it, okay, because some Russians said it, now that's why it's a problem? Because some Russians pretending to be Americans or pretending to be black or whatever said it on Facebook in an ad, now it has more weight. What about all the people who have been saying it since I was knee-high to this table? What about that? They didn't get it from Russia. One of the things that's infuriating, folks, is the fact that people like the DNC had so much money. They had so much money. Well, Hillary Clinton had a lot of money. She spent $1 billion. Now, based on what I've seen, we're talking about $150,000 worth of Facebook ads. Now they say there were more ads that were run on Instagram, so it wasn't just Facebook. Oh no, okay. So you're telling me there was $150,000 worth of Instagram ads also ran? Uh-oh, that changes everything. All of a sudden, I agree with you. That had to do it. Get out of here. Get out of here. Hillary Clinton had $1 billion. How much of that $1 billion did Hillary Clinton spend with black media? How much did she spend with black media? Next to nothing. Because she didn't think she had to. She didn't think she had to do anything to try to win the votes of blacks. Now, you're watching this show and you're like, hey, Tim Black, I love your show. But keep in mind, guys, I'm small potatoes. I'm small potatoes. And though I'm small potatoes, I'm still one of the largest black independently owned media entities in the U.S. And I'm small potatoes. I have 26 million views, over 100,000 subscribers. I'm verified on Twitter and Facebook. 70, 80,000 on Facebook, 50, 60,000 on Twitter, 100,000 on YouTube. That's small, but it's big for black folks. Do you think the DNC, Democratic Party, reached out to Tim Black to try to influence votes? No. To try to influence the programs? No. To try to work with me? No. To try to run ads? No. No. So what I'm telling you is the Democratic Party did not put money into Hillary's campaign in the black communities. But they're upset that some Russian did, that 13 Russians ran some ads. Hillary Clinton, once again, guys, I'm not saying they should have done it. I'm saying that they didn't do it. They did not actively work to get the vote, the black vote. And they never do. They just say, the Republicans are really bad. The Republicans are bigots. Get away from them. Vote with us. The Republicans don't like you. Vote for us. The Republicans, they disrespect you, so vote for us. And that's it. And they don't do anything. They don't tell you what they're going to do for you. They just tell you what the other people are going to do to you. That is not a marketing plan. And really, it wasn't just, the reason why I'm making this black and white, because, hell, man, Hillary didn't campaign in Wisconsin. Did she even go? Did she step foot in Michigan? What'd she do in Michigan? All right, so it's not that I want to make this about black folks, but since they're making it about black folks, let's make it about black folks. I mean, Hillary Clinton, to me, did not campaign well at all. She didn't campaign thoroughly in the states, in swing states, guys. We're talking swing states. She just let it go. And when it didn't turn out the way they thought it was going to turn out, they thought, we could just phone this in. We don't have to really run against Trump. They got Bernie to endorse her. And they forgot they just walk into the end zone. But you know what happened? Similar to that play where the guy is running the ball, he gets to the goal line, and he shows off, he drops the ball. Just as he's about to cross the field goal, the goal line for the touchdown, he thought he won. He didn't win. That is Hillary Clinton. That is the DNC. That is 2016. And no one wants to admit it. So look, here's my argument in a nutshell. I'm not saying Russians did not influence the election. I'm not saying they didn't try. I'm not saying they didn't take out Facebook ads. Sure, have it. They did that probably. I agree with you. You know what? They did it. They did it. They had to. They ran some ads. All right? What about what the Huffington Post runs? What about what CNN runs? What about what MSNBC? How could you possibly keep trying to sell us this idea that all these other people, name a black person, a black entity with a voice. Tom joined the morning show, one of the biggest black listening reaches on radio. They supported Hillary. That didn't cancel out all the Facebook ads. The black comedians, D.L. Hughley, he preached love Hillary, love Hillary. Like all the influential black celebrities from Beyonce to Will Smith to Obama himself to Oprah, all of them were speaking up and preaching Hillary. But you want to tell us we're supposed to believe that 13 to 12 Russians, $150,000 or $300,000 worth of Facebook or internet ads is supposed to have changed an election where the former president actively campaigned, who happens to be black, happens to be. He didn't happen to be. His mom and his dad. But the first half-black president campaigned for Hillary, and she still lost, and you want to tell me you want me to believe that he didn't have more sway than 13 Russians or $150,000 worth of Facebook ads? That's what we're doing now. Just admit that Hillary lost and do better. And you know what would help this whole idea that black folks have, and I'm sure a lot of white folks have it, a lot of Latinos have it, that the elections don't matter and that they don't care about us and the issues or the policies won't affect us and nothing to do with anything. If you want to change that malaise that stupid people are in, that feeling that people have, how about you actually putting together policies that actually do impact those people and selling it to them? You know, sort of like Obama sold gay marriage to the LGBTQ community. What are you selling to the black community? You're going to have to stop using, those people are scary. Because people are not scared of Trump. It's not going to work in 2020. If that's all you got, look for another loss. Now, you can shoot the messenger if you want. That's all you do is you blame the messenger for telling you truth. That's it. So anyway, it's a bunch of BS, guys. It's lame, and we're so over it. We really are. All right. It is what it is. They just can't accept it. What was it? Jimmy's thing? What was his comedy? Jimmy Dore had a comedy routine, a comedy show called The Country's Just Not That Into You or something. That's what it was. Blacks were just not that into Hillary Clinton. That's why less of them showed up. They got their black president and nothing really changed in their lives. And they're like, well, screw this. It's a human reaction. It's a natural human reaction for people to be disenchanted. When the guy you thought was going to go in and clean up Chicago and clean up Flint, he didn't clean up Flint. He didn't clean up Flint. So we can't count on the first black president to go out there and actually champion for black issues. Instead, what did he say? Oh, we can't, I just can't be the president of black people. Got to be the president of everybody. So I'm just going to act to ignore you, black folks. Let's go over here and deal with the gays and deal with the DACA. Let's deal with that because wouldn't want them to think I'm working for black people. So if that's the way we're going to do business, why would you expect all of a sudden for people to be excited about Hillary when all she kept saying was, expect more of the same. Expect more of the same. Nah, no one was excited about it, no matter how much hot sauce she had in her purse. All right, I'm done. Damn it. Next up. Russian propaganda. Mueller investigation? Okay, let's go to Mueller. Okay, so we're right here. This Russia investigation has yielded some fruit for the Democratic Party. The Mueller investigation is still in swing. It's still going down. And today, they released a memo that summarizes what they got out of Michael Flynn. All right, here we go. Mueller releases memo summarizing FBI's interview with Michael Flynn. Now, part of this was they say that Michael Flynn lied. Okay, they caught him in a lie, and that has to do with his dealings with Kislyak, which is a Russian ambassador who was here in the States that Michael Flynn met with. Where Michael Flynn, they said he was less than forthcoming. He lied about how much involvement he had with them and what their meetings were about. So here we are picking up on the Michael Flynn and what Mueller said his interrogation of Flynn revealed. Okay. Whether the FBI decided Flynn was lying at the moment has become a touch point in President Donald Trump's recent attacks on the Mueller investigation. Trump has latched onto whether Mueller pursued Flynn on the criminal charges at odds with the FBI's initial findings. Former FBI agent Peter Strzok participated in the Flynn interview, and the fact that Flynn was not warned he could be prosecuted for lying and had no lawyer present when he met with the FBI at the White House has also cast political shadows on the case. Yes. Now, I made light of this before because it is kind of silly. Someone has to tell you, don't lie to the FBI. But did they read him his Miranda rights? Should they have had to? I think you should have to say, hey, we're going on the record. What happened here? And maybe then Flynn will say, hey, we're going on the record. And yeah, if you lie to, if you're not forthcoming, we could prosecute you. Let's make sure your answers are genuine, sir. And then Flynn will probably say, hey, I better get a lawyer in here. That's kind of standard. Now, don't get me wrong. I still believe that Michael Flynn is responsible for his statements because you can't just lie and be like, well, if I knew lying wasn't an option, I wouldn't have lied. It's not supposed to be an option, sir. You're a general, for crying out loud. 3-star general, worked for the president. You're a chief advisor, national security advisor to the president. You got to be told not to lie to the FBI? But yeah, I guess they do have to tell him. Anyway, here we go. Trump alleges that the FBI determined that day that Flynn hadn't lied. Yet the memo from January 24th, 2017, that was released Monday, does not say that the FBI agents made any determinations at the time. So Trump says he didn't lie. They never said he lied. They said he lied later. They didn't say he lied then. Now they're saying he lied. And according to the memo or whatever, they said that's not actually accurate. They didn't make any determinations if he were lying. They just reported what he said. All right. So a memo released last week by Mueller's office described how the FBI had known the facts of Flynn's conversations with Kislyak, that's the Russian, before the agency approached him in the West Wing. A separate memo filed with the court last week summarized how Strozak recalled he had the impression at the time that Flynn was not lying or did not think he was lying. All right. Okay, so the memo describes how Flynn downplayed the approach. So what are they saying now that he lied about? They say that Flynn downplayed the approach he had taken in his discussions with Kislyak when FBI agents asked him about the discussions in the January 2017 interview. He told agents that no, he had not sought to influence Russia's vote on a UN Security Council resolution about Israeli settlements. So they wanted to know if Flynn was using his position to negotiate Russian sanctions or negotiate actions with Russia before the inauguration. All right? Right? All right. So then the second thing, they said, as described in the FBI memo, came the response to the agents asking Flynn about the U.S. expulsion of Russian diplomats or closing Russian properties following the Kremlin's interference in the 2016 election. They asked him if he had encouraged Kislyak not to retaliate. So, there we go. You know, I'm just sitting here wondering. I thought the purpose of this investigation was to determine if Donald Trump worked with Russia to steal the election. That's what this was supposed to be about. It appears to me that it's about everything besides if Donald Trump worked with Russia to steal an election. Just because you don't like Trump doesn't mean you should be able to just make it about anything. Hey, did this guy ever get a lap dance from Stormy Daniels? Hey, did this guy ever put 25 cents in his pocket without saying thank you? Hey, did this guy order a Big Mac with hold the special sauce? Did he ever do that? Like, you're just throwing stuff against the wall. This stuff here that they're talking about with Michael Flynn, he didn't disclose that he had certain conversations. So, and? Man, we just got a bunch of people, I feel, we have a bunch of people, guys, that are just so hell-bent on getting rid of Trump and getting in Pence. Oh, they can't wait to get Pence. These guys are just chomping at the bit. Give me Pence. Give me Pence. No one's ever been excited about Mike Pence. Mike Pence has never been excited about Mike Pence. Okay? I believe Mike Pence's parents, when he was born, they were like, guess we got a new kid. No one's ever been excited about Mike Pence. But these Democrats sure are excited. They really want Mike Pence. They really can't wait to get him in there. They really can't wait. You know that's what you're doing this for, right? It's like jumping out the frying pan into the skillet. I'm out the frying pan. I'm in the skillet. My ass is in the skillet. That's what we're fighting for. And not only are you fighting for it, but millions of dollars have been spent to put America in the skillet. Well, excuse me if I'm not excited about that shit. And neither are a lot of other people. All right. This is where I tell you that this show is brought to you by you. It's brought to you by you. Pay up. I'm joking. Only halfway. Look, if you love this show, you think it's cool to have somewhat of an entertaining, informative, no BS show that talks about news and what's going on in your world, well, become a member of the show. Go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, or go to YouTube. Become a member there. You can join this wolf I got behind me. That's Tim Black's Wolf Pack. And you become a member of the show. I'm doing my best to provide special content, extra content for my Patreon members. We're working on that. We're going to go into the new year kicking some butt. Be a part of it. Do it today. All right. And it's true. Yes, it's true. It's true, guys. No one's ever been excited about Mike Pence, not even Mrs. Pence. But there is someone I'm excited about, and that is Tulsi Gabbard. That's right. Tulsi Gabbard may be running in 2020. She's going to be making an announcement soon. This is important. Tulsi Gabbard is moving toward an unconventional presidential campaign. Her fans see her as Bernie 2020. Now, this article is taken from BuzzFeed News, and we know how BuzzFeed News gets down. It's an opinion. This is an opinion piece, but I'll tell you this, guys. I don't see Tulsi Gabbard as Bernie 2.0. I see Tulsi Gabbard as Tulsi Gabbard 1.0. And I see Bernie Sanders as Bernie Sanders 1.0. I don't expect it to be anything like Bernie other than there's some policy overlap. And that's a good thing, okay? Tulsi Gabbard, member of Congress from Hawaii, is known insofar as she's known for bucking her party. She criticized President Barack Obama's handling of ISIS. She was widely criticized for traveling to Syria to meet with Assad. They thought that was wrong just because she wanted to know, hey, did you really drop the chemicals? Because I don't smell no chemicals. Where's the chemicals? They said she shouldn't have done that. She also met with Donald Trump to talk about our military. They criticized her for that. Pretty much anything that she did, she gets criticized for. So when she left the DNC in order to endorse Bernie Sanders, of course, they really criticized her for that one. Well, it's 3 years later, Tulsi Gabbard is poised to try to convince the Democratic primary voters that they should turn the page not just on status quo politics, but on the Vermont senator whom she championed. Hey, whoa. Who's saying this? What's going on? I got a little feedback going on over here. Sorry, guys. I hope that wasn't too much feedback. I do hear like something going on. It stopped. It's going again. What is that? You know what? I'm tripping because I don't even think you guys can hear it. We have to do a lot of editing on this. All right, here's the deal, guys. The saying that Tulsi Gabbard is trying to replace Bernie Sanders, no, I don't think that's the case. Always looking for an angle, aren't we? Listen, I don't feel like Bernie was trying to replace Hillary. That Bernie was being Bernie and running for office. I don't think anyone needs anyone else's permission to run for office. In fact, I'd like to see Nina Turner run. Yeah, give it up for Nina Turner. Why not? Run, Nina. You got the goods. Come on, people love you. Keep your profile going. Keep growing your profile. Keep influencing the masses. You know? Tulsi Gabbard has strong military credentials, and that's something that's been missed on the left. Common sense ideas about scaling back our military involvement, keeping it real regarding our overthrowing our regime change motives that have really damaged not only the U.S., but damaged many other countries and innocent civilians all around the world. I like the fact that Tulsi Gabbard speaks bluntly about that. Do I think that there are issues, some things that might come up that we need to have conversations about? Well, heck yeah. But I'm also open to hearing her explanations for why she feels the way she feels. But up to this point, I know that she's for Medicare for all. I know she's for ending the interventionist wars. And that's a lot more than most of these run-of-the-mill 95% or 90% of the potential candidates who are running for office, such as Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren. I don't even think Elizabeth Warren will come out as strongly as Tulsi Gabbard against interventionist wars. So, yeah, I support Tulsi Gabbard. And I think, definitely, I go on the record and say I think that she will be a strong candidate. Hopefully she takes advantage of this moment and realizes, I believe that Donald Trump was a very beatable candidate. I think Hillary Clinton was probably the only candidate that couldn't beat Donald Trump. I mean, I don't think Lincoln Chafee could have beat Donald Trump, but I think Bernie Sanders could have beat Donald Trump. I think that Bernie Sanders still could beat Donald Trump, and I think Tulsi Gabbard could definitely beat Donald Trump. Let's see what happens. What else about Gabbard? Like I said, if Gabbard runs, her supporters say she could be the candidate who quenches the current political thirst. At only 37, she would be one of the youngest candidates in the history of the presidency. She's an Iraq War veteran, became the first Hindu in Congress, and when she was first elected in 2012, and she has the bona fides as someone who has proposed climate change legislation before potential Democratic presidential candidates started signing on to the Green New Deal. Yeah. So I'm very excited about it, guys. Me, man. I'm a person who wants to see the political establishment shaken up and rock to its core. I think that's the direction we need to go. Candidates like Tulsi Gabbard, they force the issue. They put a spotlight on the neoliberals and gives up no place to hide. Just imagine the debates if you got someone like a Bernie Sanders and a Tulsi Gabbard, in there going neck and neck. That all of that middle road centrist talk is going to be exposed for what it is. Because believe it, guys, most of America want a green economy. Most of America wants to end the interventionist wars. Most of America does want universal health care. Most of America does want free local college. Most of America does want to end the failed drug war. Most of America, see, these are things that are no-brainers, all right? And to have candidates who boldly run on those principles that most of the people want, how could you not support it? All right. My last story, guys. And let me just check my chat, man, hoping that people can hear this stuff. Hey, Steve, how you doing? Steve just said, he thinks he had more influence than the Russians did on the election. I can't hear anything. I don't know what's going on with this. That's funny though. Okay. What about my YouTube people? My YouTube people can hear? There we go. Frederick, what's up? Kerry Holder, what's up? My dingo ate my baby. Cool. Ty Seddon says, Tulsi Gabbard is the only Democrat I might consider voting for POTUS in 2020. Yeah. I love it, man. I love that idea. All right. Now, I want to go to this last story here, guys. How many people heard of this young lady named Jasmine Headley? You may not remember the name, but you remember the story of a black woman being dragged to the ground and pulling a baby from her arms. You guys remember that? You may have seen it on social media. So what it appears now, I've been reading up on this story, right? What appears is she was at a government facility where you get benefits. Benefits, right? You go in to get the benefits, right? She went in there. She'd been there for a couple hours. She was waiting to find out what's going on with her food stamps and what's going on with her pay, with her, money, the money that's allocated that she gets monthly, right? She goes in. She takes the child with her. Child is only 1 year old, right? Child is 1. Pretty sure the child is only 1. Okay, so she's in there and she's waiting, and finally, after waiting an hour or two, they tell her, "Oh well, you have to reapply for food stamps, and that's going to take about a week for that to be processed." And she's like, "Well, could you check on my money, because I really need to buy some food. Maybe I just use my money to buy the food if there's going to be any money on my card or whatever." So she goes to do that. They go to do that or whatever, and the baby's being restless, so she sits on the floor with the baby. Right? Baby, baby's baby. Baby doesn't understand. We're there to get the benefits. Baby's like, "Hey, this is no fun to be here for hours." Okay? So there's an altercation between her and the security guards or whatever, because she's not sitting where they think she should sit. And what happens was, security guards call the police. And when the police come, they show up. They didn't ask her. According to Miss Jasmine, they didn't ask her any questions. They just proceeded to try to lock her up. And that's what they tried to do. They tried to take her baby from her. She wouldn't let nobody take her baby from her. And then that's where the altercation began. And they're pulling a human being from another human being. She's pulling a mother, trying to separate a mother from a child. Now, I was very happy to hear that people were pushing back on this story. I was happy to see that people were pissed off, because when I saw the picture of the little baby crying and at the wall, the border wall, and they had Trump looking like the bad guy looking down at her, even though that had not really happened. He had not actually, separated that child. And even that child had never really been separated from her mother. But this story ran on Time magazine. You remember the cover? It was a little baby, and Trump's looking down being Trump, whatever. This is a child. I hate children. He's looking like that at the baby. My point is this: people were really pissed off about the family separation. Well, we got a family separation process or situation going on right here in New York, at a place where you're supposed to get help. And I'm glad to hear that people were pissed off about it. I want to thank those people for being human beings. And I shouldn't have to thank you for it, but I want to commend you. And I know I shouldn't have to commend you for it, but I want to say something positive, because it's good to see people not buying into this narrative where you vilify people who need help. So that's what's going on right now. We're vilifying people that need help. Now, don't get me wrong. There were some people who vilified Miss Hidley. They said she didn't have a job, even though she does have a job. See, a lot of people who get benefits, they work. I know you don't think they do, because you watch TV and movies where people are scumbags. Everybody's a scumbag. Everybody's trying to rob the system. But there are some people who are just having hard times. They're not bad people. They weren't born bad people. Sometimes they make mistakes. No one's saying people are perfect. But in Miss Hidley's situation, she is employed. She cleans offices, if you must know. You really shouldn't have to know that a person is working for you to treat them with respect. You really should not have to know a person's personal story, their background, to say, "Hey, why are they abusing this person?" That shouldn't be an issue. That shouldn't be a concern. Well, what'd she do? No, people with guns shouldn't have to show up and separate mothers from their babies just because somebody behind the booth is having a bad day, or some security guards ticked off. And according to reports, they do this all the time at this place. And if you come outside and smoke a cigarette, they call the police on you. If you spit on the sidewalk, they call the police on you. It's sort of doing a Michael Flynn investigation, where basically they just look for anything on you because you're on the wrong team, because you're there, you need help. So all the charges against Miss Hidley have been reduced, or have been dropped. They said she was child neglect. I don't even know where that comes from. I don't get it, okay? But any charges that they had on Miss Hidley have been reduced or have been thrown out. And she's also acquired legal assistance. And the issue is not just about Miss Hidley, okay? Miss Jasmine Hidley. It's not just about her. It's about all the folks who go to government places, government assistance places, locations, and are treated less than human. They're treated like they're disposable. They're treated like they did something wrong. Look, any one of us at any time could suffer a setback. It could happen to you too. In fact, all you have is a job that someone gave you. And if they took that job from you and you didn't have the proper amount of money stashed away, you may find yourself too at a government facility looking for government assistance. And as a citizen of the United States, you should be eligible for that. Treat people better. Stop treating people badly because of economics. Anyway, that's all I got to say about this. It's disgusting what these officers and what the security guard, now the police officers are blaming security guards. Like, we just came and did our job. We should have never been called. It's all the stupid security guards' fault. Now, when you show up, you should be able to assess the situation. Assess. They didn't even give Miss Haley an opportunity to leave. They just went right into let's lock them up mode. Because that's really all they do is lock people up. Put them through the prison industrial system to make money for the state. That's it. So I don't leave the cops off the hook or let them off the hook on this. But I do hold the lady or the security guard responsible and the person who called the police to begin with or called security. Everything. Why does everything have to be, let's lock people up? Yeah, we don't know what to do, so just let's lock people up. We wouldn't want to have to actually talk to her. Let's just lock her up. We don't want to get to the bottom of this. Let's just lock them up. We are the lock them up culture. Hence, America has 5% of the world's population, but houses 20% of the world's prisoners. That's a bad thing. It's not good. It's not good. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I got. Thank you for tuning into the Tim Black at Night Show. Remember, become a member of this show. You can find me on social media as Real Tim Black. Go to TimBlackTV.com if you're interested. Got an event coming up and you'd like a brother to show up and, help MC the event. Some people say I got a gift for Gab. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Until we talk again, don't let nobody take your cornbread. Peace. This show is brought to you by JustInformed.com. Sign up today.